And we're live. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And we've got a special guest with us here for the Hump Day Happy Hour. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul. Paul Carl Cards. I sell sports cards primarily on eBay, and I do a lot of cool automation stuff behind the scenes to make it as efficient as possible. And I make YouTube videos about that nerdy stuff.
Very good. We're going to get into that in a moment. And I did see you just got over you're now monetized. You're in the big bucks of YouTube monetization. So that's good. We'll talk about that shortly as well. What do we enjoy today? Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
it was a good shot today. And why don't we say hi to everybody here in the chat?
All right, here we go. First out is Cool Carl. How's it going?
The AI overlords.
That's right. Marvelous Michael's in the house. Marvelous Metals in the house. Dandy Davis here, like always. Lovely Michelle is here. The great Dawn is here.
And she didn't say hello.
So, yeah.
Oh, there we go. And hello. Nice.
Super See the Lights is here. Dawn's congratulating Paul.
Oh, there you go. You got a fan. You got a fan there.
Jazzy Jim's here. And Marvelous Miss Lachey, how you doing? And that is it for right now.
Nice. All right, we're going to start the show off as we always do. We're going to ask how everybody's sales were, and we'll let Paul start it out. How were your sales this past week?
Oh, they're good. They've been steady.
All right. Well, it was a nice interview. We'll see you next time.
I'm so jealous already.
Not so they're good sales?
Yeah, I try to track it based on my sell-through rate. So as long as I have 158 active right now and 148 sold or something like that. And so as long as my listings are going up and my sales are going up kind of in proportion, I'm happy.
You ever get any bad days or bad weeks, just because it's so far off? Because we get a lot of those every now and then, and a lot of other people do as well, selling collectibles. And, you ever say, geez, no one's on eBay today. I usually sell 50 items. I'm selling 25,
Yeah. Some days I'll have 2 0 days in a row.
Okay.
Which when I had the 100,000 active listings with the singles, that was impossible. I would never have a 0 day.
Yeah.
But now with the lots, the 0 days are actually kind of nice because I don't have to go to the post office or do anything.
Yeah.
And but after 1 or 2 days, usually there's a big flood to kind of even it out. So I'll go 0 0 and then have 8 sales or something.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, how about you, Mr. Magazine?
eBay's been inconsistently bad. Sometimes I get a good day here and there. Again, it depends on what I'm listing and selling. If it's something better or high end, we do better. But Amazon's been pretty strong lately. Website's been pretty strong. DVD sales are a little down right now, but the website's been huge. We've had some big sales lately, so I'm happy with that. It's I'm going away for Florida in about a week, so I want to have money in my account, so I don't have to worry about bouncing checks. So I'm gonna say the website has helped me to get more money in my account at this point in time. But how about yours?
Let's see what the other people are doing.
I'm curious about your retirement.
All right. Hello, Morris.
Mercury Morris, how you doing? Mercury Mr. Hot Wheels, how you doing? Awesome Antiquarians here. How's it going? Michelle?
I don't want to brag. My payout today. Oh, $8.96. Whoa.
Hey, that's good for some people.
Whoa. Rubbing it in my face.
There we go with steady. I'm jealous of that word.
Nice.
I wish I could say that.
23-cent deposit. Nice.
Jeez, brutal.
Nice.
Brutal.
Slow month.
Yeah.
It's been the last 2 days have been terrible. I sold 2 items today on eBay and 3 yesterday with 22,000 items listed. That's not good. Amazon, I'm selling 1 to 2 items a day, and I'm listing stuff on there. Terrible. Haven't sold anything on Etsy in a week.
Oof.
So that's bad.
That's like your bread and butter.
Whatnot sales are down, so that's not good.
Shocking.
The only thing I did sell 2 items on million.dollar.peddlers over on eBay, so that helped. And I sold 1 item on Biblio. Nice. And then I sold somebody came to my website that has purchased from me before, and they actually bought 18 items. So that was the biggest sale I've had in quite a while over on the website.
Nice. Good for you. What
Papergoy.com.
What magazine titles were they?
He actually bought comic books and religious books and and Star Wars stuff, like a Star Wars storybook and stuff like that. Just a weird collection.
Yeah.
Sales are slow, and I have to play Find the Missing Item in Inventory game.
We play that every day. It's always fun.
It's a wonderful game. It's going really well to the last few days. Yeah. I know somebody or other was saying, I was reading that eBay had added a return policy for his international items, and that screwed things up for him. And then I know that a lot of people have been saying, and I know Rockstar Flipper did a video about it, where it's a huge eBay glitch where it's changing people's prices on them as well.
Jeez, that's like extreme.
They just list something and it just puts it at the you know how when you go to list something it says this is eBay's recommended price.
Oh yeah.
It listed at that.
But still, you could have something for $30 and recommend it could be $8.
Well, and the thing is, the recommended will be I might have what is it the is it Family Circle? Is that the one with the first Maryland? And the Family Circles from that era might sell generally for $20 a piece. Well, that's $1,000 magazine.
Yeah.
Well, their recommended may say $20.
Crazy.
So that's kind of crazy on that over there. Promoted 25 out of 56, so we're going at about 40% promoted. And then people are looking with the offers. I did 86 older offers, 173 total offers. Last week was only 158, and last year was 161. So people are looking at the items.
Yeah.
How do you do with offers to watchers?
I do pretty good. I use that text replacement thing. So I just type in like eBay offer and it automatically replaces it in my phone to my little call to action, basically. So I use a little wave emoji to try to like pull attention to it, since I think most people just ignore it since it's always seller sent you an offer or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I send that offer and I also tell them like check out my store. If there's anything else you want, send me an offer on it. I love to make good deals. And so usually I can either get at least that one item sold, or sometimes I can upsell them to a couple other lots. Yeah.
Nice. I do the exact opposite of that. They really don't buy anything. They never look at my store again.
Yeah. I mean, you miss like most of the time it's a miss, but like when you get that one person who's like, oh wow, this person like typed something to me. Like a lot of people appreciate that, and then they'll reciprocate with the time it takes to look at your store. So yeah, it's worth taking the shot. Every
sale helps, definitely.
Now, how about any buys? Anybody out there buying? Why don't you start, Paul? You buy anything lately, or you've been busy with other things?
Yeah, I've been working on my sourcing process. So I've been buying a lot on eBay to resell on eBay, mostly auctions. So yeah, I got lots of some like Hall of Fame baseball players that I'm going to lot up. Lots of WWE cards, the wrestling ones. People love like the women's and the diva stuff, so I'm going to lot up some of those. Cool. I've been getting like the gold prism numbered out of 10 cards. Not that anybody, I don't know if anyone in the chat here cares. But yeah, some of those I can snag for a couple bucks, and then I'm going to sell those locally for like 10 to 15. Cool. Just little stuff like that. Try to start the snowball rolling.
Yeah.
Very cool.
How about you, Mr. Magazine? You buying anything?
Man, not much. Quiet on my end. I'm saving up money for Florida, because we're going to Disney, so it's going to cost me a chunk of change. I'm trying to buy it smart right now, or not at all. But I got a huge deal going end of April, early May with like 15,000 DVDs. So I'm saving up for that right now until something better comes along. But it's been pretty thin lately, which is good because it gives me time to build up. How about you?
Well, you would all be proud of me. I went to an estate sale Thursday, and I didn't buy anything.
Wow. And
I went to 2 estate sales on Friday, and I didn't buy anything. Then I went to an estate sale Sunday and had Mrs. Papergoy with me, and we went to lunch, and we went back to the sale again, and I ended up spending about $300 at the sale. So you'd be proud of me for 3 out of 4 sales.
Not bad.
It was a house that was built in the 1700s.
Wow.
And it had a lot of really, really nice stuff in it. And it's amazing how many people at the estate sales, I watch them using their Google Lens, and they're Google Lensing everything. They're literally taking every plate out and Google Lensing it to see what it is, and I guess to see if it's worth buying or not.
They got to be there all day, though. Don't they have to leave so more people can get in, though? Mrs.
Paperboy was standing in one room. She goes, this person would not get out of the way. They were using their phone on every single thing. But the funny thing is, I went and I just went right to the books, and a couple of dealers had picked a bunch of books before me. And I ended up picking up a couple of $125 books. I picked up a $150 book, and they're $1 to $2 a book. And these are after they've been searched.
Wow.
And I'm saying, I don't know what these people are doing on their Google Lens, but they're obviously missing something.
Yeah, how are they missing those? But okay, so the $100 books, what are you paying? What is the price on?
$1 to $2.
Oh my, yeah. So they don't know. Well, are they scannable? So they're not UP.
No, the one was 1860s,
Yeah,
and
so
1910.
they might skip those,
stuff
or
like
there's none on Google. Right.
that could be it too. Yeah. And then they also had a bunch of RPPC postcards and a bunch of photos, absolutely priced way less than they should be for the sale.
Wow.
So I ended up buying those. So if you like photos and you like RPPCs, you'll want to come on over to Whatnot, because I would be putting them up there because I'm into them, right? And I don't want to learn those categories, so we put them up. So let's see if anybody else is doing anything there. And there's actually in that same town, there's actually going to be a really, really good sale this week. So I guess I'll spend some money this week too.
Retirement's treating you well.
Yeah, I'm selling nothing and I'm buying everything.
Yeah, you got room. All right, metal for Gemini. Sales are rotten to the core. Mr. Hot Wheels, that's shocking. We don't hear slow out of you too often.
No, he usually does well with the Hot Wheels.
Yep.
He's got that niche.
Yeah, hopefully it picks up for everyone at some point. When do you think it's going to pick up? Be honest.
I hate to say this, but I think November 9th, right after the election.
It's a long way.
Yes, that's a long ways, but I think that I think the election is going to screw everything all up.
Marvelous moving on's in the house. How you doing?
Tell me a couple of our items prices were changed on her. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. The only way I would know is because of my pricing system is 23, 24, whatever. Obviously, if I sell something priced at like 77 cents, I'd say no. That's
Michelle said huge changes. It's crazy.
Huge changes in prices. Yeah.
How do you even catch it? You're not alerted on it.
No.
I would never know with all the listings.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I gotta check my store after this.
Yeah, exactly. Things start selling like crazy.
You're like, wow, I made 52 sales at $1 a piece. I'm doing real well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the winner for glitch of the week. Of course, is them changing the prices, but there were a couple of other glitches this week as well. I got a listing violation on Amazon, Mr. Magazine.
Really? Wow.
For the use of the word Spider-Man on a Spectacular Spider-Man comic book. So I said, well, let me edit it. So I clicked through to edit it. And when I clicked edit, it said, you are not approved to list this product and we are not accepting applications at this time. So my listed product, I'm not allowed to list.
But
I can't change it.
I bet if you go on there, there's people listing it with no problem though.
Yeah, well, probably. Great glitch over there. I noticed today over on eBay, you know the main search page, the one where you can search for products and you can search for sellers and all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The default on item search is to look for items in Afghanistan. That was the default. I said, yeah, I don't know how well that's going to work or not. Probably Afghanistan is probably the first country. So it probably defaulted to that.
Right, yeah.
But I said, that's absolutely crazy.
Jeez.
Blacklist wouldn't let me add a name. Occasionally that happens. Try a second time. I've had it happen where it wouldn't let you block a bidder, but trust me, I've had plenty of experience in blocking bidders. Try it a second time, and a lot of times it works the second time. And then, have you noticed anything at all, Paul or Mr. Magazine, remember how eBay was requiring the immediate payment, and then if people weren't paying, then it was offering the item for other people still to buy? Yeah. Have you noticed anything with that still?
Nothing on my end, no.
Not only have I not noticed that, but I'm set up on the $1 Million Peddlers and Vivs-Views. I'm set up to require immediate payment.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody paid for something and didn't pay for it. And I'm saying they can't even get their immediate payment right. My check is still there that they have to immediately pay if they make an offer. They have to, have the money set in there to do it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even do that right. So it looks like they're scuttling the one idea, which was a terrible idea, that other people could still buy the item.
Right.
Looks like they're scuttling that.
Horrible idea.
But it looks like they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Kind of crazy.
Oh,
Vintage NOS razor blades. Really? Interesting. I wonder why on that. Who knows?
Violates the weapons policy.
Yeah, right.
How about I got a Shopify violation?
Right.
For what was it again? The
Triumph motorcycle.
Triumph motorcycles wants me to take off Triumph items off my website, mrmagazine.com, and they're all Triumph magazines. So Triumph, the owner, whoever has the rights to Triumph motorcycles, apparently thinks I'm selling Triumph motorcycles, not the magazines.
Yeah.
So I got to jump through hoops on that one just to clear my name so they don't kick me off of Shopify. So crazy.
It's always something.
Yeah. Let's see, Kelly. You can't see the filters on the left-hand side of the page in someone's store. It's all blank.
Oh, mobile seems to be okay. All right. That's kind of crazy as well. Kind of crazy. Any, actually, insulting offer of the week, we kind of only got, Mr. Magazine got one. Now, what do you do with insulting offers?
I'll counter. I don't just outright decline them. I counter and try to sell them on either paying my price or combining their offer with some other items and paying a little bit more. I try to turn them all into sales. Like
now what if they offered $1 on a $50 lot?
Oh, I still try to upsell.
Okay.
Them. I take
All
every
right.
swing.
I mean, he's got to pay off at some point on some of them, I'm sure. It helps.
Yeah. Like the most recently in one of the videos, my branding and marketing one, I used an example where there was a guy who sent me an offer, or I sent him an offer, and then he wanted me to send him more offers, and I had to like teach him how to do all the stuff. So I'll jump through all the hoops, and it pays off because this guy has bought a lot from me multiple times now.
Cool.
Yeah. Mr. Magazine had a book, Museum for a President, about JFK. It was signed by the author. He was asking $110. The guy made a $25 offer. And Mr. Magazine said, am I overpriced? And so I went on and looked at 8 books, an unsigned one. There's one unsigned one out there, and they want $38 on it. So $110 price, $75 book.
Yeah.
So certainly it's more than a $25 book.
Exactly, yeah. So
So that was the one insulting offer this week. Now I say that, I refresh the page and it's showing finally. See the lice has been missing for a few days, not just me. Jeez. Now the other day when I was in at Mr. Magazine's Monday morning, essentially, Mr. Magazine's seller hub looked totally different, and it was set up totally different on the inventory. And there were, I don't know if it happened on your computer or not, but it happened on the computer I was using.
I don't think so.
There were like pop-ups saying, here's how you search your inventory. Now you can search it this way. You can sort it this way and all these things. So apparently that can be one of the problems with the sales. That was Monday morning. And ever since then, my sales have tanked. They could be rolling out things behind the scenes. They have to hire Paul Carl to do a lot of their things there because they don't seem to know what they're doing on this stuff. So I think that they've got a lot of changes afoot as well. And that could be screwing everything up also. Had a souvenir cruise ship listed 180, got offered 30. Ow.
Crazy.
And then the other thing over here, I didn't know this, Mr. Magazine. Did you know you get a notification if somebody has opened a case on you? And I don't know, you had this happen to you, Paul, where they open an item not received case on you? Does that happen to you?
Yeah, I've had it a few times.
Did you know that at least last week I got an email from eBay saying, congratulations, your buyer's item has arrived.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that is a positive thing that they did, because then all of a sudden, like, I didn't have to worry about it anymore. Hey, what happened? No, I actually got the email saying it had arrived. Did you gotten that, Mr. Magazine, or not yet? No. I guess I'm the one of the lucky ones on that one. Hit the like button for Paul. There you go.
Nice.
Oh, thanks, Don.
So somebody I know listed a little black Sambo book, and last I knew you weren't allowed to list that. So I looked on. There are 560 little black Sambo books on eBay, and roughly 580 or thereabouts that had sold. And that puts me in a quandary because apparently you're allowed to list them now. However, about a year and a half ago, I had a policy violation for listing one, and they've never come out and said anywhere that, no, now you're allowed to list it.
Right.
So if I went and listed it and it turns out you're not allowed to list it, well, that would be a second offense for me, and that would be a big strike for me.
You should call them or do the Facebook chat.
Yeah, but you know they don't have it written down anywhere whether you're allowed to or not, because it was just kind of,
I don't know, something like that. I think they would. Hitler, certain things they would do, adult stuff. I think
little black Sambo. Yeah,
I picked up one. It was in great shape. I think it was a newer one, but it was on Amazon. 30 people had the book, so I just
put it over there. Right.
Hopefully there'll be no issues. So.
Yeah, kind of crazy on that though, and in the sports cards you probably don't have the problem. The only thing I could think of that you might have the problem with would be the infamous Billy Ripken card.
Yeah,
and I can't
you
think
can
of
list
too
it.
many other things that you might have a problem with over in sports cards, other than what the Gretzky O-Pee-Chee and the Jordan Fleer. Those you have to have graded to sell. But beyond
That
that,
makes sense. Even then, you're lucky if it's not fake.
Yeah.
probably I would think they probably got some rules on some of the Star cards also, the Star Company cards.
But I guess though, like they have that certification now, so why does it matter? Because if you do sell anything over $200, whatever, it goes to them. They certify it, so
That's true too.
you should be able to sell them now. I mean,
that is true too. Although I guess the way people get around that is they throw a second card in.
Yeah.
So, Michael Jordan Fleer rookie, $600 and a Steve Kerr card. And now it doesn't have to go to certification.
Right? Yeah.
I've seen them doing that with like autographed photos. So like they'll include a card with the autographed photo, so that I guess maybe the photo doesn't go to authentication or something.
Yeah, but if the photo sells for $200, if they're still buying that lot with that $200 photo in there, hypothetically, it has to go there.
No.
Oh, really?
Because it's a lot.
Yeah, that's the way around it.
Man, that is crazy to me. eBay's got to look into that. That's like if those keywords come up or something.
Well, I guess the reason why would be, say Paul put together a massive collection of cards, and 50,000 1981 Topps Commons, $500. Well, nobody wants that authenticated.
True. That is true. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, then every time eBay makes me mad, I'll just sell like 10,000 of them to myself. So authenticators
authenticate everything. Shirtless isn't okay to list something. People get away with listing band stuff all the time. I agree completely.
Yeah,
but with 560 of them, that's insane.
That is crazy. Yeah, but just like Playboy, you should half the Playboys you can't list. They still do, and you talk to eBay, and they're like, well, we catch them occasionally. They're not going to shut everyone down. When someone reports it, they'll take them down, but it's not important to them. If I have it, it's important to them to shut me down. Yeah. Crazy.
Yes, you say they will ship the countries that I have blocked. Oh, boy.
Nice.
Well, I guess, though, if you're shipping it to them directly, eBay directly, and then they handle it from there, you're at you have no issues with that. Try like maniacs to get away with it. Doesn't mean we should. That is true. If the rest of you would drive normal, then I could drive like a maniac and not be in danger. Gonna show you the item of the week. Now, I've shown many times in the past some of the incredibly awesome and wonderful things that I've given Mr. Magazine, because I'm really a great guy when you get down to it. However, I recently had a birthday, and Mr. Magazine stepped up to the plate.
By the way, I got yelled at for wishing me happy birthday a day in advance in case I forgot Sunday.
Because you didn't know the day.
I thought I asked you ahead of time.
Well, Mr. Magazine did give me this, and I don't know how well you can see it, but it is a graded Green Lantern Green Arrow number 76, which basically this is the comic book that they say kicked off the Bronze Age of comics. Neil Adams cover on it, CGC graded. And it is graded as 7.5, which is a fairly high grade on this over here. A book that I've always liked. And I want to thank Mr. Magazine for giving this to me. And definitely do keep your eyes out there for that. Number 76 through, I think, 84 or 85 were the run that they had there with Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil. And they got into real topics, and those always carry a bit of an extra value. But this is the creme de la creme. That means cream of the cream. Of the Bronze Age Green Lantern comics. So thank you very much, Mr. Magazine. I do appreciate it. And I will be having a birthday next year as well, just letting you know.
Oh, I'll prepare for that one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hopkins. See, he at least belated. You didn't wish it early like somebody.
I did early, same day, and belated.
That is true. Couple of customer issues over here. Mr. Magazine had a 118 die cast, which is a fairly big size, right, Mr. Magazine? Yep. With all due respect, your charge for shipping is out of sight.
I think he was in California, and it's like 3 or 4 pound die cast card. So it's going to be $20-something. I mean, it just is. You can't do anything about it.
Well, Paul was actually talking a little earlier. Now, you use pirate ship, Paul?
Yeah, specifically for like heavier, bigger things. Yeah, because there's so I think excuse me. Most of us sellers, we know about like priority mail cubic, but when First Class went out and Ground Advantage came in, they actually brought in Ground Advantage Cubic too. So you can do Cubic at both tiers now. And with Ground Advantage Cubic, you can ship from New York to California for $10, up to like 20 pounds.
Wow.
And,
Any
yeah,
type of box or envelope, it doesn't matter.
as long as it's under 20 inches at the length, as long as no part of the box is longer than 20 inches, you're good.
They're doing that on Amazon because Amazon does not give us enough to ship heavy items out. So that's definitely going to be useful for us because we can still print it. We can do that right off Amazon shipping, right? Cubic, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. That's how I found out about Priority Mail. Cubic was on Amazon selling stuff there.
Awesome.
Yep. Mr. Magazine had a Kellogg's Cornflakes Star Trek box, was asked the question, is it possible to get this item without the cereal? So Mr. Magazine's like, well, I guess I can eat some cereal that's 12 years old. If so, can I have it mailed flat media mail for less shipping cost? Now,
I think Ground Advantage is probably cheaper than medium mail, 1 pound. Honestly.
For that size.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I used to read the back of the cereal boxes when I was sitting there eating my breakfast in the morning, but I don't think that qualifies as media mail.
When someone is that cheap and that specific, I don't want to deal with them.
No, that is true. Do you have problems with that, Paul? With people in the cards trying to get you, oh, send it media mail, send it media mail.
Like a set of cards, if you sell sets, they're a few pounds at least.
Yeah, I haven't. I do free shipping, so people don't usually complain to me about that. The only time I'll put shipping on is if it's an auction. But in the past, I try to capitulate to whatever they demand. I'll do it. I've done some strange stuff for customers before.
Hey, whatever gets the sale.
Yeah.
Mr. Magazine at a Star Wars Imperial Guard Return of the Jedi 1983 got an email. If you're wondering why you have no bids, it's because you're asking way too much, which then raises the question, what about the other 100,000 items that have been sold? You can't be asking too much on every one of those.
I hope not. Maybe that's the reason. But then if I lower everything, I've already lowered them.
Yeah, you put everything on sale anyway, yeah.
Let's say I go 70%, they're going to sell 100,000 items in one day.
That's true. And this one I absolutely love. I know we try to be a family show. Cover the kids' ears up for about 30 seconds if you could. Mr. Magazine was selling a book called Orgasm and Female Desire. Got the question, what is this book about?
You could have just answered me.
I told him to say it's the biography of Mahatma Gandhi. Why not?
Crazy stuff.
All right, the kids can listen again. I don't know if you saw this, Mr. Magazine, or not, but Bill Gates said that he didn't want to meet Warren Buffett until his mother talked him into doing so. Bill Gates' excuse was he just buys and sells pieces of paper. So That's probably why none of us have met Bill Gates, because all we do is buy and sell pieces of paper. So we're not on his radar right now. So Bill Gates' mom, try to talk him into financing us. Do you do anything other than sports cards?
Not anymore. I used to sell anything and everything. Like if it exists, I've probably sold it at some point in my life. I liked glassware a lot, especially unmarked glass. Yeah, because everybody hates it, so it was easy to source.
Yeah.
Especially if it's unmarked and you can't just Google a brand name. I would look at the glassware books and try to learn patterns and brands and how to identify them. Yeah,
you should get back into it. So every time I get some of that, I can just give it to you.
Yeah, maybe. The problem with it though is it's slow seller and it's huge. Yeah. So that's with the card boom. I was like, all right, well, let me get in the cards now because they're tiny. They won't take up any space. And fast forward, my entire upstairs is filled with cards. But yeah, I think picking a specialty is like crucial for everyone.
Well, the reason I ask is because there is an auction up right now for business cards. And right now, and this was as of a couple of days ago, the most expensive business card ever, well, the second most expensive was a signed Elon Musk SpaceX business card, which was going for $13,000. What the heck? And the most expensive business card ever, and it was still up for auction, was Steve Jobs' Apple business card for $53,000.
That's really cool. What year? Like early Apple?
Didn't say what year on this, but I was looking through the list over here. The other top ones are always Steve Jobs. So if you get Steve Jobs business cards, they're very, very good. This seems a little bit cheap, though. The 7th most expensive business card, Professor Albert Einstein, $8,000 for that business card. And then you get into Barack Obama when he was a senator, $8,000 for that one. Bruce Lee's martial arts business card, and that's a $7,600 business card.
That should be worth more than Steve Jobs. I mean, way older. I mean, how many of those could be out there? How many did he make originally? You know, like, it's crazy.
Wyatt Earp, his saloon business card, $6,000.
Seems cheap.
And then the one that there were 2 of them on there, basically goes for about $4,800. Is, and I'm gonna see if you know who these people are or not. The Quarrymen.
No, I don't know.
You know
I have no idea.
A band?
It is a band.
I guess.
The Beatles. That was the original name of the Beatles.
Wow.
So the business card from the Quarrymen is worth about $4,800 if you happen to get one of those out there.
That seems cheap too. I mean, how many are out there in existence? Really, they all seem really undervalued. Well, the Elon Musk is overpriced because
right, the new stuff seems overpriced.
You can get his autograph, and the card's probably still out there, technically.
Yeah. So there you go. Now there's your new niche, business cards. Up at Quarrymen.
I'm gonna slide into Elon's DMs. Thanks for an autograph.
What's that?
I said I was going to slide into Elon's DMs and ask for an autograph.
Exactly. I did sell a business card in 2002. I got 12 cents for it. It was Paperboy when he first changed his name on eBay.
Wow, nice.
I sold I bought some like cabinet thing at an estate sale once. It was filled with business cards, so I just lotted them up and I sold them for like $30. Just random local like Syracuse, New York businesses from 40 years ago.
Jesus had a business card.
The part is, if I had a Quarryman business card, now I might know and then forget about it. Like say 3 years from now, like I wouldn't know that was it.
It'd still be sitting somewhere.
That or throw it out or put it on, and hopefully someone else knows what it is. Jeez.
Did you see Mr. Beast, a fellow monetized YouTuber like Paul Carl, is launching a reality show on Amazon? 1,000 people are competing for $5 million. The largest prize in game show history.
Wow. What do they have to do?
I don't know that yet. We might be able to come up with $5 for $1 million peddlers game.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Christie's and Sotheby's, the results from there show that the market has lost froth. So that's not good. And global art sales dropped 4% in 2023. So the market is on its way down and unfortunately has not picked up yet in 2024. Another thing, I actually did, well, I was supposed to buy something from you, Paul. You came up here with a bunch of newspapers.
Oh, yeah.
We worked out a deal for him.
Mr. Magazine has those.
Mr. Magazine apparently thought it was such a good deal that he's kept them for himself.
Oh,
you never got them?
No, I never got them.
I don't even know where they are. I mean, there is a room I put newspapers in, so it could be in that room. Jeez, all right.
So I kind of cut out of that deal.
I have an idea where it is. Well, he paid for them, and I got to keep them.
So it's just a win-win
deal. Well, guess what? Let's say they were here. You probably wouldn't know where they are, and they would probably be in some corner with all these other. Yeah, I'm retired now. I got to list those newspapers from Paul.
Yeah. Those JFK ones got to be good. That no one has any of them up.
No, that's a very rare newspaper.
Yeah.
Well, they're all the Rochester ones.
Do you sell anywhere but eBay?
I sell locally at an antique mall booth, and I'll sell directly to some customers that like I can just text them and say like, hey, here's some cards. You want any of these? And sell them that way.
Now,
those are my 3 main.
Did you ever give a thought to selling on Whatnot?
I did, but I think everybody here sees that I'm not like the most personable, charismatic guy, so I don't think I could do the whole Whatnot thing.
We should do it together then,
we could just be miserable and bored. Like, here's this card.
It's a $10. Great card, wonderful card.
Yeah,
Rick Burleson, 3rd year. Now, the only reason I'm asking is because Whatnot Con. Have you heard of that, Mr. Magazine?
Oh, I can't wait to hear about it.
Good job.
I think I'm going to the My Little Pony Con instead.
Oh, you're a brony?
Pony, yeah.
April 11th through April 14th, they have Whatnot Con, and they say it's like having a comic convention on Whatnot. Oh. various slots. I set up for the 345 slot on Friday, April 12th. I have 90 books up for auction, and I have 10 giveaways. So if you like free books, come on by. That's April 12th, 3:45
I heard
p.m.
you're dressing up as a Bible.
It's a free book.
Well, everyone should be getting dressed up, right?
That's true. Yes,
Right?
I got it. Now I got it.
Right, it's not
I
fun.
don't know if it's that kind of con. And
We're all going to get con when there's a glitch and you can't sell anything.
Yeah, that's half the fun of the site.
Or your prices are all lowered and you sell everything.
Show. This is pretty impressive.
I once competed in a deal or no deal for $100 million. I won a sweepstakes as part of the prize. I got to keep $100 grand. Nice.
That's awesome.
Very good. And hopefully spending them more. When you're spending it in my store.
Now, who would want that with all the taxes, right?
Exactly. They don't sell nice dinners. Wow. Very nice.
It sounds like the weekend. Every weekend you're retired.
All right, Paul, why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel and what you're doing on there with the automation? Because I watched a whole bunch of the videos and I had smoke coming out of my ears about 30 seconds in. That's way above what I can do, but
yeah, basically I started the YouTube channel to like save my wife from being ranted at all the time with all these ideas and stuff. So I figured I would just rant into the void and nobody, maybe a few nerds would catch on and like it. But it became more popular than I expected. And so I try to make more videos. I got to make them more frequently, but it's so tough to make the time for it, especially since it's like the side gig of my side gig. But yeah, I try to talk about all of like the kind of the operation side of eBay, and like branding and marketing, some of the more businessy parts of it, because I feel like anyone can like go find stuff. You can look anywhere. You can get inventory. Like you can walk down on garbage day and source inventory. Like there's stuff everywhere. I don't want to do like haul videos or anything like that. I'd rather talk about like how I shaved an extra like 3 seconds off per order, in terms of how fast I can ship it and things like that. But yeah, so that's what I'm trying to talk about on the channel, like whether it's like through code and technology and hardware, or if it's through just like rearranging your desk so that you don't have to move your arm as far to reach the roll of tape, like things like that.
Right. Yeah. I gotta hire you for my employees, because if you can save a second on them, I'd be doing good.
Yeah.
Well, and, one thing that I did like about the channel, and it kind of ties into something that we always do as well. You're very open about your numbers, and we appreciate that. We're very, very open about our numbers as well. In fact, I was just working on my taxes today. So sometime or other, probably early April, we will have our big reveal episode like we have every single year, where we tell you our actual top line, bottom line, our expenses along the way. And I was watching the one video where you were showing your financial statements and all that off the Excel video. And,
yeah.
and I really do appreciate that. And you were doing a deep dive into the costs and all that sort of thing. And I believe if I remember the video right, it was a little misleading. Your numbers are a little misleading, which you admitted yourself, because you changed strategies during the year.
Yeah.
So in other words,
so it made them a little better
number because part of the year was singles and part of the year was lots. And so, it'll be really interesting to watch when you have your next video, when it's strictly lots. And what you might want to do at that point would be kind of go back to if you still have your old Excels, when you had the singles up, and then just kind of compare the numbers at that point, because then you'll see better. But you're always talking on there about a lot of people go with their gut feeling, and you're more of the analytics. You're more of the Moneyball guy.
Yeah, because I mean, we like trick ourselves in our head, like when we're buying things, for example, like, I'll sell it for 60, I can pay 20 or whatever it is. But then like the reality is you get home and you look deeper into the comps, it's like, actually I'm only gonna get 50 for it. And I forgot, I got 10% promoted on it too. So like the numbers get fudged a lot. So if you're just kind of going by your gut and your feeling, and it's like when you tell a story, you tell somebody about the fish you caught and it was 8 pounds the first time. Now it's 9. Next time it's 10. Like you keep lying to yourself over and over again, and your margins get better and better unless you have something to kind of anchor you back to reality. And for me, that's like the Excel sheet and all the numbers, because like if I start ranting about my numbers or whatever, some sale, and like I'll tell my wife like, oh, I just got this lot, I paid like $40 for it, and I'm gonna break into 300 card lots, and I'm gonna make like 200, and then I come back and I get to the computer, it's like, oh, I paid $60 for that, and I think I'm only gonna get more like 180 or 170.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, share whatever you want on this part over here. But you were mentioning that YouTube's the side gig to your side gig, so I'm going to assume that eBay is the side gig. You've got a day job, and what sort of work do you do?
I'm self-employed. I do digital marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been doing like search engine optimization, building websites, helping people develop like brands and strategies for advertising, all those kinds of fun, nerdy things. I've been doing that full time since like 2011-ish or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I just converted my wife to the dark side too. So she's been self-employed for a little over a year now. She's in like mental health counseling. So she's got her own little practice going now, which is awesome for her. So I don't know. I'm doing a little bit of everything right now.
That's
It feels
cool.
like
We'll
I gotta
get
focus
together.
more.
I just got you a client.
Yeah, we'll have to get together. Well, because I've always wanted to do like for the adult site some SEO stuff, and the people that do a lot of it, they won't do the adult site. So maybe if it's something you're willing to entertain, you could help me with, and we could do some trade, whatever. You give you some high-end cards or whatever you want to do. But we'll talk at some point when we meet up.
Okay, cool.
Nice,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll take a peek at the site too in the meantime.
Cool, awesome,
nice.
Yeah.
Now you had a few questions for him as well.
I do have a few questions. So to start out, though, I wasn't feeling too well today. I didn't sleep much last night. I only got a couple hours sleep. I didn't feel good. I might not have showed up tonight. I knew you were coming, so I wanted to make sure I was here. Paperboy asked me to rattle off some questions for you. So, and I said, hey, print them out. When I get here, I'm going to read them off. So now, just so you see, this is Paperboy's cheat sheet. If you can see the font, how nice and big. It's pretty big font, right? Would you agree to that? Okay, so this is his. Now, this is what he gave me. Can anyone read that? I can't read that. I mean, that's like someone with 80/20 vision. I'm going to do the best I can, though. All right, I'm just going to give me a second because I got to be wincing at this. All right, for starters, like, did you collect sports cards when you were a kid, and that's how you got into the card reselling?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was into it because at school in like 3rd grade, our gym teacher had like a sports card club. She started, actually. It was a woman.
Oh, cool. All right.
And so we would buy packs for like 50 cents to $1, and all of us kids, we'd have like our binders, and we'd be trading with each other and stuff. And I liked it for more like the trading aspect. I wanted to get all the Michael Jordan cards, so I'd always trade for everybody's Michael Jordan. And if they didn't have Michael Jordan, I would trade for their Kobe Bryant, because I knew I could trade Kobe Bryant for Michael Jordan.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. So actually, I had I graded. I had a Kobe rookie that I never traded away, and that I graded during the pandemic, and actually hit an 8, which was kind of shocking.
Cool. Yeah.
You had that when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
For an 8 on a card for a kid.
An elementary school kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mine barely get authentic.
So you're more of a basketball collector when you're collecting cards?
Yeah. I didn't care about baseball. We had some hockey cards. Those were pretty much garbage to me. I did not like hockey.
Yeah, me neither. I think you did some hockey.
Yeah, I had some hockey growing up. Yeah.
Are you still collecting stuff, or like when you come with pick up collections, you keep stuff for yourself for investment purposes or anything?
No, not really.
That's the right answer and the smart answer.
Yeah, we're getting older. We want to collect money. Like that's what I'm trying to do right now.
But unfortunately, both of us put plenty of things in our collection.
Too
That's
much.
the problem.
Too much stuff.
Yeah. I take the card money, and right now I'm putting it into new inventory, and then anything extra, I'll either like buy equipment that I want or need. It's nice because I can kind of like pimp out the office with stuff as a business expense, for the cards. And anything left over, I just throw in the SEP for a little tax write-off and all that good stuff.
Yeah, cool. And for you sell any more single cards at all, or just in that mall?
Just at the mall.
Okay.
And that I did as an experiment because I have I used to sell a bunch of Lego sets on Amazon during the pandemic. And so I had some leftover Lego sets that I wanted to try to sell locally because I was getting mad online. Probably I just had bad luck. It was too emotional. But I kept getting lots of returns where people were stealing the minifigures out. So I was just like, screw this. And I pulled the plug on Amazon.
That's crazy.
And
Amazon won't do anything about it.
Oh, yeah, they don't care.
They don't, exactly.
But yeah, so I figured, let me try to get this antique mall booth and see how it goes. And I'll just, if nothing else, it's cheaper than a storage unit, you know? And it ended up doing really well. And I threw cards in there and my Lego sets. And now I phased it into just cards, and I'm starting to build a little bit of a reputation locally. So I get a lot of local buys I'm able to do in person through people that I meet through the booth. So yeah, it's been great for selling and for sourcing new inventory. And the other bonus too is this particular mall doesn't have a commission on sale, so I just plan to pay them a flat rate for rent, and all the revenue's mine. It's awesome.
Cool.
Now, I know you did a video about it, and certainly everybody should check that out. But if you could give us the Cliff's Notes version of why you changed from selling singles to selling lots, and what your experience is now versus before.
Yeah. So the reason why I switched was after being stubborn for like a little over a year, my goal with the singles was to try to get people to buy multiple cards.
Okay.
Because if you just sell one card, it's not very good revenue or not very good profit. I mean, the margins look amazing on paper because it's like 50% or something. But it's like 25, 50, 75 cents a sale.
Right.
And so I got the process down for like making it as efficient as possible so I could pick, pack, and ship about 100 cards an hour. And so that was great. But my problem was most of my orders were just for one single card. And I was really trying to get my buyers to buy more than one. I would even run like a buy one, get one free deal. And even with a buy one, get one free deal, people will still just buy one card because they don't want to be bothered to go find another one that they like.
Yeah.
And I actually, I found myself in the same boat. This I didn't mention in that video, but I buy a lot of books on eBay. And so like all the booksellers, they have like buy 3, get 2 free or whatever. And I had one book I wanted. So it's like, well, I got to use the deal. So I go in, I'll try to see if they have any other books on my list. And they'll have like 3 out of the 5 that I need for the deal. So then I was like, you know what, screw it. I don't even want the book anymore. I've spent 20 minutes looking for 5 books.
All right, good.
And I just wanted one.
Sure.
And then I just walk away. So on the other side of the coin, it's like
You saw your customers would be potentially doing that.
Yeah. So even if you know how the coupons work, but you don't know what you want, there's so much stuff you can't go through.
100,000 listings, right?
Yeah.
They're just like me. Like they don't want to siphon through all those listings. They don't want to spend time searching, so they just go somewhere else or just buy the one item.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what I ended up doing. I just bought the one book and didn't use the deal. So,
Sure.
But yeah, that's kind of what like was the straw that broke the camel's back, you know. So I decided, all right, well, if I can find a way to efficiently list lots without having to take pictures and flip cards over and move things around and all that, if I can figure out an answer to that problem, then I can try selling lots, and then people have to buy more than one card because that's all the only option, and then the price reflects it. So that is what led me down the path of like building out the software for it. And so now I have the fancy listing with like the branding on it, and everything's automated. I just scan the cards. Excuse me. I scan them through this tool called ChronoCard, and they have a AI system that will automatically populate the details of like what card it is, like the card number, brand, year, player, all that stuff. And so I click a button, it does all that. Then I click another button to export it. Then I click a button a third time to run my script, and I upload the CSV, and I'm done. And it's the greatest thing ever.
Now that site you were talking about, is that a paid site or a free site?
It's a paid site. They have like a free trial, or like 50 free listings a month or something like that. And they're cool guys. Like they know that I'm building software that like makes me not have to pay them money, and they're really supportive with it, which is weird.
Awesome.
but yeah, they're cool guys. So if you're like, hey, can I try the AI for free? They would probably just send you a code or do whatever voodoo they do on the back end to give it to you.
What's the most efficient quantity for lots to make it most profitable? Like 10, 25, 50?
I think it depends on how much you have and how you're building them out. For what I'm able to do in my situation, 100 cards is what I want to do, because at 100 cards, I can charge, like a minimum of 30 cents a card.
Yeah.
And the customers still get a great deal, especially compared to buying each card for $2 as singles. And then I get that 30 as a minimum price point, which leaves a lot of meat on the bone for a good profit per hour. So that's what I target. I just started experimenting with some sets. So like I have there's like a 40 card insert set for some wrestling AEW thing. So I'm testing out 2 of those as complete sets for 40 card lots. We'll see how it does. And I have a 10 card insert set that I'm testing out. But I did 3 card lots, 9 card lots, and then 100 card lots. I think I don't know if I did anything.
It's gonna be harder for certain players though to get 100 of one. So you want 100 Bo Jackson might be harder. Jordan might be easier, but you still got to buy 100 Jordans or pick up 100 Jordans but yeah.
Yeah. And I got a whole process I've been working on for that stuff to make it simple. So like I have tabs for all the players I go after. So if I get a lot, like I bought some lots that are coming in tomorrow, hopefully. One of them is like 280 George Brett cards. So I'm going to have an extra 80 left over. But I'm sure at some point I'll buy another lot where I'll have some more leftover George Bretts. So I'll just go to George Brett.
I had a question for you about that. You picked up that George Brett lot, let's say, and let's say it had a decent enough condition rookie in there. What would you do with that? Would you sell that at the mall? Would you list that singly on its own, or would you really spice up a lot with it?
Oh, I'd grade it first. That's 75 tops. I actually have one at PSA right now.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah. So I do try to keep an eye out for that, because I did really well with graded cards during the pandemic thing. Like right before they shut down, I got this killer deal where this guy had the storage unit filled with cases of factory sealed 1991 Upper Deck basketball, which is like the very first Upper Deck basketball set produced. And it has like 6 Jordan cards in it. So I cracked like 40 of those sets and took all the Jordans and just sent them for grading. Grading was like 10 or 12 bucks a card then. And I got like, even the 8s I would sell for 40 and make a profit, but like 9s I could get 100 out of. Wow. And then if it was a 10, I could get like 200 to 300 depending on what the time of it was.
All right, yeah.
That same card you can buy right now in a PSA 10 for like 40 bucks. So but yeah, so I'm always trying to find ways to add value. And grading is one way to add value to the product that you're selling. And that's one of the things with the lots too. Like I think the way that people can see the scans of everything instead of like some sloppy photo or like a stack where you just kind of fan the cards out. There's not a lot to like help the buyer make a decision or really get a feel for what's in that lot and what the condition is. So with having the scans, I feel like I'm adding a lot of value to these lots, especially. Sorry, I'm rambling now. Feel free to tell me shut up.
Well, no. We're listening.
Yeah.
And John Doe just asked the best way to ship cards.
He's got I was going to ask you that too. When you were selling single cards on eBay, because a lot of times we use that. What is that brown mailer? They seem to get lost. You don't got it.
Yeah, don't do any of that. You got to get yourself just a plain white number 10 envelope.
Okay.
I have one here somewhere, I think. But they're the long, skinny ones.
Yeah.
Of course, I cleaned up my desk to make room for the camera.
Just top load and put in the white envelope.
I use the card savers instead of a top loader, since they're a little bit more flexible.
Yeah.
They do better in the machines.
Okay.
And so yeah, I shipped just last year. I shipped over 20,000 cards, I think, something crazy like that.
Wow.
And they're all. I do them all this way. The machines never really eat them up. It's usually like if someone bends it to shove it in like one of those tiny mailboxes, that's when they get damaged.
Yeah.
But yeah, the summer just go through the machines really well, and you can actually watch like the post office videos and see how the machines work and get an idea of it. That's why I stopped using top loaders, because they're so much more rigid that it's like an S shape, the rollers, and like you can't really bend a top loader in an S shape without
Yeah, I
messing
think
something
they
up.
get rejected too because I would say even if it's one in every 25 or 50 we ship, it never gets there for whatever reason, and they don't even track it at all either.
Yeah. But yeah, I have a whole video on this, both for how I ship my lots and how I ship the singles.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Because yeah, with the singles, this is a thing. Like everybody says, get a roller printer, and like I love thermal printers. I use mine all the time now. But with the eBay standard envelope, I use a normal printer. Like they have those tank printers where you have like a bottle of ink and you squeeze it into the tank. They're super efficient. And with the one I have, what is it, the Epson ET3830, I can print directly on number 10 envelopes. So instead of printing on thermal labels, peeling and sticking them on the envelope, I can print off all my envelopes for my ESE orders while at the same time on another printer printing off all the invoices. And then while that's all happening, I'm putting all the cards in the thing.
So you really are all about efficiency.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I wanted to ask you a question about one of your competitors. Just if you were aware of them and what you thought, because you were talking about how you went away from the single side. Are you familiar with Burbank cards?
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about theirs? Now, anybody that doesn't know Burbank cards, they've sold 6.5 million cards on eBay, and currently they have 2.4 million cards up. What do you think of their business plan? It's probably not scalable for you. Nothing against you by any means whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
They have to have a ton of employees and they have to have a ton of room when you get down to it.
Well, the cost of sorting, like I've never liked paying employees to sort cards. Because one, I don't think they sort them as fast as paper going myself. We're too busy to sort cards, but like they have them sort sets and stuff. By the time you break it down, it's not worth selling $50 or $100 sets because it takes them so long to build the sets, you know? So I don't know. I mean, I know they do it because they have higher end stuff, but everything.
Oh no, one card.
I know they sell cheap stuff, but they're also selling high end too.
Well, one card I saw on there was a Donruss rookie of Andre Galarraga, $1.99, and if you bought 10, you got a discount. So buy 2, then you get a cheap price on the next 8 or something or other like that. Yeah. So I mean, what do you think about them? I mean, obviously, you wouldn't be scalable to that level just because it looks like you live in a house as opposed to living in a warehouse. And it looks like it would potentially be you and your wife. And I'm sure 2 people cannot ship out 6.4 million cards.
I like that idea because you're really getting the maximum value out of each card for that. But the time and the labor that goes into it is what kills it for me personally, because I know Burbank, I've seen like their tours, their back end. And they have like family members and stuff that will help them sort the cards. So I imagine their labor cost on that is pretty low for whatever they are sorting. But I think that's the one part. He has like the 10 rules of selling cards. Like these are the things you always have to do. And sorting is like rule number 1. And I completely disregard that rule. Like I don't think that you should spend time sorting your cards out unless it makes sense. Like cherry picking cards out that are higher value makes sense, but I try to sell cards the way they come in. So like here's a perfect example. I have a bunch of these like McDonald's Topps Chrome basketball cards. Now I could sort these in numerical order and try to list them as singles for like $1.50, $1.99 shipped, and do that. But I would much rather just take them as they are, stick them through the scanner and say a lot of 100 McDonald's cards and put them up for 15, 20, 30 bucks, whatever. I don't know what they're worth. I'll have to comp them, but then I'm not spending any time sorting them. And that's the same thing with how I'm sourcing now. When I'm buying player lots, the people I'm buying them from, they already put the work of sorting into it. So in addition to paying for the cards, I also see it as paying for the labor. And so I'm getting a killer deal on my labor costs of getting these pre-sorted cards, because I'll literally sit right here where I am right now, cut the box open, turn the scanner on, and as I'm pulling the cards out, I just stick them in the scanner. So they come out of the box in the scanner and they're stacked away in my inventory like immediately upon delivery. There's like no lag time. And
No,
anything extra
that's
goes in the
amazing.
extra
And the
box.
reason why is because, I mean, just think about the amount of time that you and I spend sorting stuff out. Just any collection we get.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there is, for me, some level of enjoyment out of sorting. You know, if I bought a big box of stuff, I get home, oh, what did I buy? What did I buy? Because I don't necessarily remember what I bought. You know, and obviously the things that I buy, generally speaking, they wouldn't work well as a lot. You know, because if I went to an estate sale and I bought 7 books, 4 magazines, 3 postcards, you're not going to lot that stuff together, obviously.
Yeah.
So there is some level of necessity of sorting, and I do enjoy the sorting of my thing on that stuff. But you really have taken that all out, and that's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thanks. I'm going to clip that and play it as my alarm in the morning.
I only sort stuff if it's like, you know, I got a 1970 Topps baseball set and I can sell it as a partial set. I want to get it as complete as I can or something like that. Then it's worth it if I can get a few $100 out of it. Other than that, if it's $10, $20, $50, it's not worth it sorting out. There's no way.
Yeah, I'll look through if the carrot's big enough. Like, so this card I've used as an example. This is a Jim Nettles Pacific Minor League card.
I remember that, yeah.
And it's like the Billy Ripken error.
Oh, yeah.
You can't read it, but the Billy Ripken error, for people who aren't into cards, he has F face written on the bat knob, and this guy has A-hole written on his bat knob, and it went unchecked.
I would say go for it. I got one floating around somewhere. I've seen it.
It's a $50 card.
Wow.
Yeah, I had some Pacific, actually some of your cards, Mr. Magazine. I was lotting them up. I was asking for help with the pricing. I was like, I'm going to put them up for like $30-$50 shipped and see what happens. And some guy that I know, he messaged me. He's like, dude, look for Jim Nettles' card, man. That's big money. So I looked through the pile. There's 4 of them in there. So
wow, that's awesome.
$200 of these.
Cool.
for nothing.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, we're going to head on into, because we're getting close to the 1 hour. We're just above the 1 hour mark. We don't want to keep you all night over here. We're going to head on over to the rambling story of the week. And,
I thought I was doing the rambling stories.
I don't know if you remember last week, Mr. Magazine, I was coughing.
Yeah. I wish you were in a coffin, but yes.
Oh, wow. So I went to the doctor, the good doctor, as you remember.
Yeah.
And turns out that we don't know what I have. They did do a chest x-ray and for pneumonia, and they've yet to say whether or not Mrs. Papergoy and I have pneumonia or not. Probably not. The best thought was that we probably back in February had either the flu or COVID, and whatever we had just sat down in our lungs, and it could take up to 2 months to clear out the lungs.
Wow.
They have us, Mrs. Papergoy and I, on steroids. So,
nice.
It works.
Yeah.
Got us on that, and we have inhalers for our lungs as well on that. And I'm going to tell you the secret that the doctor said for a soup. You want to hear a recipe for a soup when you're not feeling well?
I do like soup.
Okay. So this was the doctor. Now, this was a doctor that had to be in her late 60s, and she was doing this part-time now. So, and she goes, oh, I love it. I'm semi-retired, but I come back and I work some.
Yeah.
And she had some sort of a European accent. I don't know whether it was Polish, whatever. So she's an old doctor that came over. Mm-hmm. Take an onion. Peel the onion. Take the brown skin of the onion, put that into water and boil it for 15 minutes, and there's your soup. Now that sounds like the absolute worst soup I've ever heard, and I've definitely not tried that yet.
You gotta at least add pepper. I mean, you gotta add pepper, maybe some cheese, something. Yeah.
So dirty onion skin boiled for 15 minutes will cure whatever ails you.
So how'd it go?
I haven't tried that. Sounds horrible.
Try it. She knows her stuff.
She does know her stuff.
I'm sure you paid for her knowledge, so you might as well.
My insurance paid for that. Yes. Exactly. So do let us know. I was mentioning that I'll probably be seeing Paul when I'm up in Utica for Madison Bachville. So hopefully he'll make me a big pot of onion soup.
That's what we'll do.
You get a free bowl of soup with that. Nice. Any last words you want to have? Definitely do check out Paul's channel. As you could hear from just us talking with him today, he is the king of efficiency. I think Mr. Magazine is going to hire him for a week to come on in and streamline the operations. Does wonderful things and a lot of videos. Roughly how many videos do you have up?
Not many, and I'm actually not monetized either. I have enough subscribers, but my watch time isn't high.
Oh, your
enough.
watch time's not. Yep.
Yeah, I don't make enough videos. That's one of my goals this year was to make a lot more. But I just don't want to do like BS topics. I wanted to actually try to have some.
Hey, we built our channel off that.
Yeah, no, good at those videos.
If it's a live show, it's different because then it's like entertainment, and I don't know. I'm not very entertaining. I don't think so. I'd try to make mine more like educational and to the point.
Do you juggle?
No,
Oh,
I don't do
cool.
anything
You're,
fun.
Educating people while you're juggling. Yeah.
Juggling
All I
ball,
do is
ball cubes.
Card tricks. Oh,
Ball
yeah, ball
cubes.
cubes. Yeah. Top loaders.
Yeah, that's what I should learn.
Card
Like
savers.
throw top loaders like throwing stars or something.
Yeah. So we throw the savers and then see if you can slice apples or something.
There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think I have like 26 videos or something like that.
Okay.
Under 30 probably. But yeah, I want to try to get like one out every 2 weeks. That's my goal. I've missed it like every week this year so far, but I'm trying.
Very good. Very good. No, like I said, it was fun having you in. And again, you kind of blew my mind, which I kind of knew that you would, just with all these efficiency things. I'm definitely going to be watching the videos. I know Don was nice enough to put a couple of links up, and we put a link in as well. So do check the videos out. Tell them $1 Million Peddlers sent you. Yeah, it's I'm going to watch all the videos. I didn't watch them all. Sorry.
It's all right. I've missed a couple of your guys too.
How dare you? But yeah, definitely do check that out. Want to thank everybody for coming on by. We're just going to go. You can stay on, and we'll talk for a couple of minutes after, just to let you know. We're going to end the stream over here. Everybody, do hit the like button if you could. Do check out Paul. It was a good sport coming on here. And do check out Whatnot. We got great auctions over there all the time. I know Mr. Magazine, when he gets back from Florida, is going to be putting a lot of great stuff together for a gigantic auction. And him and Paul are going to be teaming up doing Whatnot auctions, he was saying. So it should be wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming on by, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.